Hello, Digital Topuklar. I am Riccarda Zezza. I'm very sad I can't be there. I was really wishing to come. It's a big honor for me to be invited to such important events, and it's also a big responsibility to speak about MAAM and what we're doing with it, because I think there is a very strong inspiration in what we're doing and in the people we're working with. So MAAM is my enterprise, and it's an idea. We have seen throughout the years that becoming a mother has always been perceived as a challenge for women and for the workplace. Women struggling going back to work after motherhood, and even I think their companies don't expect them to go back fully. But on the other hand, we see that companies invest a lot of money every year in developing the soft skills of their employees. So what we thought about a few years ago was that actually motherhood develops soft skills. It does very well. If you think about listening, about time management, about creativity, mental agility, decision making, problem solving, you name it. And we all know that when a child arrives to your life and the complexity of your life gets bigger, you actually become much better at managing tasks and understanding situations and communicating with people. So how come that this happens, and at the same time you also, I think, become stronger as a woman because you have such a big responsibility? And on the other hand, companies don't see this happening. They don't perceive it, and this way they deny it and don't let it happen in the company, in the workplace. So we invented a learning method that we call life-based learning, that allows women to understand how they can use these skills that they are actually improving, and it's clear at home, use them in the workplace to make them feel stronger and more effective. And actually the method works also the other way around. So you realize that the skills you have at work can be used at home. Sometimes we think we cannot really manage time at home, or we think we cannot say no to our children, but then we realize that if there are some things that you do well at work, you can use them at home, some methods, some behaviors, and this makes us feel much stronger. What happened, we invented this way of learning based on scientific research. So there is a lot of scientific evidence that when people have more roles in their lives, more identities, these roles accumulate, which means having more roles make people stronger. This is a surprise, but it's true. And this is sociological evidence. And we also found research in which very strong women leaders, when asked questions about motherhood, about leadership, not about motherhood, they spontaneously mention motherhood as a training ground for leadership. And they spontaneously mention motherhood as a metaphor for leadership. So motherhood is also a very strong model of leadership. We can bring back to work the way we lead as mothers and propose to the society and to the workplace a new model of leadership, which is very much needed, because the world needs leaders that empower other people and that build a world that will be stronger than themselves. So, skills and leadership. This is what we found actually the experience of motherhood develops. And how did we transform this discovery in a proposal to companies, in a way to touch both the mothers and the companies to make this potential reality? We developed this learning method through traditional trainings, but 3 years ago we transformed it into a digital training, which allows us to reach many more people, to make the method more effective, because through the digital experience, the learning experience can follow you throughout 6 months. So you get the digital content online, but then you have the experiential part of the learning in your daily life. So online you realize what a skill is, let's say empathy. You answer to questions to understand actually what is empathy for you and how you are practicing it in your motherhood experience. But then you bring all this back to work thanks to the practice you do in everyday life. And you become more effective in using these skills. We launched this digital project in Italy 3 years ago, and we now have 40 companies using it and more than 4,000 people, 4,000 users using this method. And actually, a little bit more than a year ago, we also launched the same program for fathers. So the point is, I'm very sorry I can't be there. I really hope I was able to give you the message that this is all here already. The potential is here. We don't have to teach or learn anything new to anybody. The leadership model and the skills are already in our practice, in our daily life. We can free them and bring them to work. And this would make us more effective and would give to companies many more resources. And what's more important, this is going to end one for all the definition of a conflict between work and life, because we're going to show the economy and the society that there is a synergy between work and life. And so we have to have both of them and even more identities in our lives in order to be happy, energetic, and effective as workers and as people and as mothers. And I hope I will have soon the chance to speak to you in person and listen to what you have to say about this. Ciao.